Do you still sing?" Jessica coughed, thrown by the question. The answer was no, and Peter knew that. Jessica had stopped singing with the school choir the fall after Anna died. Peter had stayed on. "Why would you ask me that?" she asked. "It was just a question," Peter shrugged. "I heard you in the break room the other day singing along to some song. It reminded me of when we were in choir together." "So you were spying on me?" "We worked together, Jessica," Peter replied, deadpan. "I was in the break room. You were in the break room." "So you were spying on me?" Jessica understood why everyone liked Peter. Really, she did. He was the epitome of a good egg, the kind of person who carried jumper cables in his truck and helped strangers and was patient with old people. Jessica was a terribly judgmental, rude, and selfish person, and because of that, Peter and Peter's kindness made her feel even worse about herself than she already did. "You know what?" Peter said. "Forget it. Forget I said anything." Jessica snorted. "Right." Peter gestured to the battery. "You want to get in and give it a try?" Jessica said nothing as she climbed into her car and twisted the key in the ignition. After a series of sputters, the engine finally caught. She sagged with relief as Peter unfastened the cables and slammed down her hood. Crisis averted. He swiped his brow with the back of his hand, leaving behind a smudge of grease. One of the old ladies in the store would spot it later and make a big production of wiping it away. "Thanks," Jessica muttered through the window. "You're welcome." "See you later." "Great. Great. Cool." They were talking like robots now. Jessica wished Peter would just walk away. But there he was, still with that slightly perplexed expression on his face. Surely he wasn't going to ask her more questions about singing. It was possible he was going to try again to ask some version of the very worst question of all, "How are you doing?" And Jessica wasn't sure she'd be able to handle it. "Is everything okay?" Peter asked. "God, Peter, everything's fine." By now, another little line of sweat had tracked all the way down the side of Peter's face. A bead was hanging there right at the edge of his jaw. Instead of reaching out and swiping it away like she still wanted to, Jessica began tapping her fingers against her steering wheel. Peter looked down. The bead of sweat dropped from his jaw to the asphalt and then vanished. "Okay, well," Jessica shifted her car into reverse. "Thanks again." Even before she'd pulled all the way out of her parking space, Jessica's phone immediately buzzed again, and then started buzzing nonstop. A call was coming in. She ignored it. When she was about halfway to John's, Jessica pulled over, but kept the car running on a side street. She tilted her head back against the seat and started to sing. Just to herself, along with nothing. She began softly, but then got louder and louder. The singing turned to shouting, and Jessica became vaguely aware of a woman walking her dog, one of those pequeño dogs, but neither a Yorkie nor a Chihuahua, who had slowed and kept glancing her direction. Jessica's phone buzzed again, and finally she grabbed it. Without even reading the message, she typed out a reply. "Sorry, on way. Manager made me stay late. XO." Jessica hesitated, trying to think of a better way to lie, or not quite lie. She couldn't come up with anything, so she just hit send. She pulled away from the curb, still belting out a song to no one but herself. What a question. Do you still sing? Peter would never know her secrets.